So we've got the box office. I was more interested in the box office. So this is Podluck. We're going to talk Podluck. I was more interested in to see how Sonic did than how Fantastic Beasts did. Mary's like, it's very male that you like to look at the numbers for all this stuff.
It is.
I find, as somebody who's bad with numbers, I find that hilarious because I'm awful with numbers. But I don't really care.
Categorizing things,
Yes.
and you need to know.
I don't really care about Fantastic Beasts and the Secret of Dumbledore. They should have never made these movies to begin with, in my humble opinion. I'm not a fan of the expansion. It feels like J.K. Rowling is already the richest woman on Earth, right?
She needs more.
No, I think that's Jeff Bezos'
I said
ex-wife.
woman. Oh,
Ex-wife.
Ex-wife.
Woman.
Dang.
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully
okay.
a woman.
So yeah, maybe you could be
She's
right
up
there.
there though. She's
But
close.
I think you're right.
She is very much a fantastic book. Oh, I don't even know if she's a fantastic book writer outside of Harry Potter. I haven't read any of her mystery stuff or the stuff she wrote on. She wrote under a pseudonym. I never read any of it, but she can write books. We know that she can do that. I have yet to see any proof that she can write screenplays. That is not her fault, I guess. It's, you're just not cut out for certain things, but the Fantastic Beasts films have been on a steadily downward trajectory by about 200 million each film. I think the first one made like 866. The second one made like 600 million something. And this one only a $43 million opening for a franchise connected to the Harry Potter universe. Look, the theme park is still doing fantastic. Harry Potter as a brand is still thriving, but these movies, nobody cares. Like that's like I looked at what I thought was fascinating was the general consensus from audiences says 85% from audiences, 48% from critics. I couldn't find a single excited person about these movies. All the reviews I read were either it's better than the last one, I guess, or I don't really care, or you get the hypercritical people who are like, look, it's stupid. They kicked Johnny Depp out, and they cut out the gay scene, so they have no moral consistency because of all this other stuff. So,
but did
nobody
they cut
cares.
him out for us or for China?
They cut Johnny Depp out because of his.
I know the Johnny Depp.
They
but
cut
like
the other thing out for China.
But the gay stuff they did
For China.
Okay, yeah. Right.
Only in the Chinese release, which is I think that just proves that they have no moral consistency, that it's still a business at heart. So
the gay topics. I don't know.
Everything is kind of up in the air as far as why. To me, I don't understand why they still keep making these movies. So it made $43 million at a large 4,208 theater locations. That's an average of about $10,000 a theater. But Sonic 2 had a 58% drop and still made $30 million this weekend in its second week. It also lists Fantastic Beasts as an A24 film. I don't think that's right. If it is, I thought it was.
That's hilarious if it's true.
I thought it was a Warner Brothers film. I mean, I know it's a Warner Brothers film, but I don't know if there's some type of subheading or something in there, so I could be... Oh, it's listing Father Stu as a Warner... maybe something was put in backwards. I'd have to double check that later. But I am glad to see that Sonic did another $30 million. 58% isn't a horrible drop, and it's still out at over 4,250... So Sonic 2 is out at more theaters still than Fantastic Beasts in its second week.
You gotta go fast.
Exactly. That was clever. That was
Thanks.
good. Father Stu brought in $5.7 million. Me and Mary contributed to that. We quite enjoyed that movie. You should go see it. It's Easter. You should go see it. Might even make more money today because of
Probably.
Oh yeah.
because it does like the weekend box office, basically predicting based on what they think it will make for the Sunday, and it could end up making more because it's Easter, but they might have worked that into the predictions. But we'll see where it goes. But Fantastic Beasts is definitely the law of diminishing returns.
I don't remember anyone even being excited about the first one.
I like them.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the best you can hope for is like tepid approval.
I like it.
It's the Marvel of Harry Potter movies. They're like, actually, no, that's not true because Marvel has stands that people get very excited for, and Harry Potter is just very like
Pitiful.
nobody cares about they only care about the Harry Potter the main characters.
It's a shame because Dumbledore's one of the coolest, if not the coolest character.
Yes, depends on who you ask.
Right.
Yes. But it's just sad to see a franchise where it's like, it's not failing, but it's like they're going to squeeze every last penny out of it. Like it will, as long as it makes its money back and then some, we will get Fantastic Beasts 9.
At least it's not Fast 57.
It should be Fast. I'd rather see that. I'd
No
rather see
way,
Fast 50.
dude.
Give me Fast 57 with like Vin Diesel's son and like
My brother's my
his, like,
enemy.
by Fast and Furious 57, it'll be like Vin Diesel's like grandson playing Dom. And
Family.
I'm here for it. So, all right. Batman in 007 casting backlash is a disease, says 50 Shades of Grey star. They're talking about Jamie Dornan. I thought you'd get a kick out of this, Dane, because you talked about casting Heath Ledger in the Joker. And this happens every time they cast a new person in a James Bond movie, every time they cast a new person in a Batman movie, every time they cast a new person in something like and Joker, I would argue, is just as important to that they draw up. So do you think that as an actor, would you want to have anything to do with the casting process of this?
No. Definitely not, because like I'm gonna want something and they're gonna put like a furry in a wheelchair and like I'm Batman like
Okay.
and like
But here's his quote. He says, "Prejudgment is an effing disease. It's a disease in all our culture. In my line of work, sure, but in general, people prejudge people based on effing anything, really, and it's very sad. Look at the reaction when Rob got cast as Batman. It was like 90% negative. Daniel Craig got
Really?
cast. See, I'm going to push back on that and say that I think he's wrong. on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I
I
was
saw
positive.
everything positive about
Right?
it.
I think he's wrong on that. Daniel Craig got cast as James Bond, and that was like 100% negative. He is right about that. A lot of people would.
No way.
I kid you not. The complaint from a
Why?
lot of people was like, his hair isn't dark enough.
No
That's-
way, dude.
nope, that was-
What?
Yeah.
He's my favorite Bond.
um,
They're
but
great.
he's not wrong, but I'm saying he's not. We may not have thought he was going to be bad. I don't think I had any judgment on him.
I heard
All I
the-
remembered when he got cast was like the girl with the dragon tattoo guy and the dude who was like who played in Tomb Raider with an American accent, while Angelina Jolie had a British accent.
That movie was so
Weird.
intense.
And I guess layer cake, yeah. So a bunch of stuff. So Daniel Craig got his cast as James Bond. Says it was vile what was written. It was actually disturbing when you see the effing venomous anger that people have over casting decisions. And then guess what? Daniel Craig is effing brilliant, and it changes the whole energy of Bond. All the naysayers love what Rob has done with Batman. This is their cross to bear. If you're going to be the helm of a franchise worth billions of dollars, that billions of dollars the money has to come from somewhere, and that comes from enthusiasm. Enthusiasm equals dollars. So if you're going to head up a franchise like that and you want the movies to make a bunch of money, you're going to have to rely on the people that helped get it to that point, which is the very, very vicious fans that want to see it done a certain way. And it is your job as an actor to work with the director to create the best possible product. That's your job.
Enthusiasm can be positive or negative, though. I
Yes.
think you're good with both.
Yeah, it's your job to prove the people who support you right, and it's your job to prove the people that are naysayers wrong. That is your job as an actor. That's why you're paid millions of dollars to helm a very, very prestigious role like a James Bond or a Batman or a Joker. So I think that he's I understand what he's saying. He's bitching about the trials and tribulations of the job that he has. But I would like to see more actors kind of approach it with like look, I'm here to prove you wrong. Like, you think I'm not going to be great, I'm going to be great at it. But instead of kind of retreating into their corner and being like, they were mean to me, come out with a little bit more vigor, I say.
Jamie Dornan is just mad that he's always going to be known as 50 Shades of Grey star.
Yes.
And that's why he's mad about this topic.
Actually, I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey, but I have seen The
I
Fall.
haven't either.
And he's fantastic in The Fall as a serial
I
killer.
haven't seen any of that.
I highly recommend The Fall with Gillian Anderson. Go see it. Okay. Coachella. There's one statement from Coachella that Mary sent my way, and was it the part in the headline that you wanted me to cover? That you thought was really funny.
I just thought it was funny because Harry Styles
Proclaims men are trash with help from Shania Twain of all people.
Who's Harry Styles?
Exactly. So it says, where did I find this? It says in February, I want to find that exact line. That was the part. It says so basically he does his songs and he has Shania Twain come out on stage and perform with him, right? And he says,
This lady taught me to sing.
yes.
She also taught me that men are trash. With that,
my God.
Twain cracked up and the crowd roared. Yes, men are trash.
And imagine all of the self-hating men.
Trash.
And there's all these self-hating men like with their girlfriends at the concert, like, yes, men are trash, to their girlfriends.
Dudes rule. And I just want to say
Dane said it.
dudes rule.
Dudes rock.
No cap.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah,
No
yo.
kizzy.
Is there?
No,
Okay,
oh
then
my
I have
God,
to
it's
ask you.
evolving.
I have to ask you a question. Is there a female version of this where a girl gets up on stage and because I'm like all I've seen from pop culture in the last 20 years is Yas Queen Slay. We women can do anything. Is there just a toxic ass woman who gets up on stage and is like, bitches are be tripping? Fuck these hoes. No, I'll edit that out later. I probably won't. I probably won't. But like,
Okay.
is there a female version of that? Like,
Lydia?
is this a gendered issue
Shout out to Lydia, I
where
love it.
guys are allowed to? He can say this because anybody can say men are trash because men are allowed to be trashed in society right now. But is there like because let's just face it, if he went up on stage and he's like, and women are trash too, this article would be very different. Shania Twain would have balked and cried and claimed that the world was ending, and he would have been labeled a misogynist.
What if he said non-binary people are trash too?
Yeah, you can't say any of this stuff. So I'm trying to think of a female analog to this story.
Mean, only when it's personal. Like,
Yeah.
I know that like a woman can diss another woman and that is accepted, but she can't say anything general about women.
It's one of the biggest fallacies of pop culture in like, especially in entertainment, like the last 10 years is like all women get along. I'm like, have you?
Oh
no.
my God.
It's like
That's the biggest
Hell
lie.
no.
it's like, oh my God, oh my God, Queen, you're the best. Like, have you ever seen the meme? It says it's like women women lie by complimenting each other to each other's face. Men lie by insulting each other to each other's face. Where it's like the woman's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Am I? Yes, you are. It's like, and one dude's like, am I fat? He's like, dude, I know 5 fat people and you're 4 of them. Like like that. Like dudes lie to each other by insulting each other, and women lie to each other by complimenting each other.
And then backstabbing later on.
This is not me saying this. This is just society
This
saying
is why
this.
there can only be one queen of rap, for instance. Like, Nicki is allowed to diss other women.
And it was
in
Lil
her
Kim before that.
fields.
And it
Dude,
was-
for a second, I thought you were gonna be like, and that's me. And I was like, whoa.
That would have been a moment.
and as
Yeah, I
we
was
know,
ready. I was like,
And as we know that queen is Lil Kim forever.
Pre-Nicki Minaj.
Pre
at
Nicki
least,
Minaj.
Yeah.
I actually because I was
Missy Elliott.
okay. Guys,
Get
Lil
wrecked,
Kim,
both of you.
Missy Elliott, yes, fine.
Damn.
Before it was Missy Elliott and Lil Kim, and now it's Nicki Minaj
The
and
point-
Cardi B, right?
Yeah, they're beefing with each
Yeah.
other.
Who's beefing?
Cardi B and
That
Nicki
keeps
Minaj.
it exciting.
But they gotta fight. They gotta fight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're right about Missy Elliott though. All right, Pat Sajak's extremely off-color joke to Vanna White on Wheel of Fortune. Twitter has mixed feeling, and I literally picked this for exactly one tweet that I saw here, which I just love the idea that Pat Sajak keeps getting in trouble in like the last. He had something else that happened recently, but then so the joke was this. So he says, basically he makes a joke about opera and being nude, and that was very bad. So it says, did Pat Sajak cross the line during a recent episode of Wheel of Fortune with an off-color question he asked Vanna White? The moment certainly caught the attention of social media, but they can't collectively decide on if he did anything wrong.
Are you kidding me? I just read the quote.
Yeah, do you want to read it for everyone?
Have you ever watched Opera in the Buff?
That was his.
That's it?
That's it. Basically,
kidding,
they're talking about how like she's a fan of she's an opera buff.
Oh my God. Let me
But
fin-
have you ever watched
okay.
opera in the buff?
I gotta finish the tweet.
Yep,
Dude.
go ahead
Sorry,
and
so
finish it.
it's like, have you ever watched Opera in the Buff? Pat Sajak to Vanna White. When did this game show turn into the Wheel of Fortune after dark?
That's not the best one. Is the next one.
What?
Read the next one.
I feel like I just witnessed a Me Too moment on Wheel of Fortune. Wow.
That is right. This is the
I
age.
think
we
her
live-
heart was just pounding in her chest.
this is
and
the
she's
age we
like,
live in. When we
I
were
am humiliated.
there's a movie on HBO Max called
Tepid grandpa humor?
Yes. There's a movie on HBO Max called Kimmy, starring from the Batman, Lisa Bonet's daughter, Zoe Kravitz, and she's It's awful. The movie's awful. But the point is, there's a character that like she calls whenever she needs help with something, who lives in like another country, and he calls her hotness. And she's like, that's sexual harassment, whatever your name is. And then he goes, Me Too doesn't exist in this country. This is the world we're in now, where they've been working together longer than like me and than I've been alive. Like that's how long they've been working together. So this is the world we live in now, where then people have to argue about it.
Dude,
over and over.
My wife and I looked at each other and we were like, what did we just hear? Like, who want to live in that house? With that freaking loser is like, in the buff? What did I just hear?
This is my favorite though. It says, Alex Trebek would never. Sajak has been trashed for a while now. I love the idea that these people are like keeping track of like of Pat Sajak's moral standing. And they're like, I'm not sure how I feel about that Wheel of Fortune host who's like 900 years old. It says, Wheel of Fortune fans shocked by Pat Sajak's Me Too moment with Vanna White. I give up. I quit.
There were some people defending him.
I know, but I'm saying the fact that there's anyone calling that's they wonder why people are angry.
The fact that anyone even brought it up is insane. I think we're like living in the new Puritan culture.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
We are in a new age of puritanical beliefs, which is hilarious to me because it's done from the same level of moral superiority, it's just coming from an ideologically intersected perspective, not a religious perspective as it had been in previous generations, right? So
it's clever wordplay.
Yes.
That's how bad education system is. Like, they can't even recognize that part. Nope.
I don't know if this is necessarily the sign of the end times. I watched a great video from Russell Brand today.
He said in the buff.
I watched a great video from Russell Brand today called The End Times. And I don't know if this is necessarily a sign of the end times, but it certainly feels like we're in a weird type of like instead of alcohol prohibition, we're in like humor prohibition, and we're waiting for the repudiation of like can we tell jokes again?
We're in man prohibition.
Yes,
masculinity is prohibited. Being a man on its own is prohibited, and making jokes toward a woman is prohibited.
She's like, you want to cover numbers on this show? That's too many. You're not going to cover that. You can't cover that. That's guy stuff. She didn't actually say that.
Hey, I allow for your autism. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Toxic femininity at its worst.
Because I care, Brett.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging my.
You have your moment.
My plight. All right. On to one more ridiculous idea. I'm going to close up. How would you feel about Serena Williams having a Williams cinematic universe?
The title is horrible. Read the article, guys.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, this is the articles never do them any favor.
I know.
Okay, there are absolutely more stories to tell in a family that's achieved as much greatness as the Williams sisters have. However, the idea of someone now, if she had actually said, I want a Williams cinematic universe, that is a monument to narcissism, which is not what is said in this article. But I'm just saying,
she is a narcissist, though.
Yes,
unrelated.
But I'm saying, a lot of these.
Side note,
I give a lot more leeway to athletes who are narcissistic because they literally have to prove themselves over and over and over and over and over
as a
again.
Tennis fan, they're both incredible. And like what the article says is true. Like they both completely own the sport in different eras of their lives.
Yes.
Serena and Venus.
Yep. So it says there's a lot can be said about Richard Williams and Will Smith's Academy Award-winning portrayal of the famous father in King Richard. But the perspectives that should be prioritized is the real life of the Williams family. Smith was an early frontrunner for Best Actor contention from the moment King Richard premiered. Whatever happened with that? Did he win?
He won something,
did he? I can't remember. Something happened that I can't remember what happened that night. Something big happened.
Guess we'll never know.
We'll never know. I bet you. Who knows? I bet you people are arguing about it right now. The attention given authentically retelling the story of how tennis's powerhouses Venus and Serena Williams went from training in Compton in their youth to becoming two of the most dominant players in history meant that King Richard was quickly positioned as the go-to inspirational movie of 2021. I'm just going to skip down here. It says, the way Williams tells it, King Richard serves as a perfect origin story. So it's like Williams begins. It's like Serena begins. Serena and Venus begins. As the perfect origin story and launchpad for a series of films focusing on the separate paths of Venus and Serena. Well, the girls got their start together and won their fair share of doubles companion championships. Both women have celebrated legendary singles runs outside of sports. It's important to remember that the Williams sisters are not a monolith, that each of them has their own story to tell, which is absolutely true.
Absolutely.
You could do that, but maybe don't call it a cinematic universe for the sake of not making people puke in their mouth.
That was editorializing. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but I don't think anyone is even interested.
Oh man, I would be for real. Like when I was growing up, when I was growing up, Venus was incredible. Like she'd won like 6 in a row or something. Like she was like the female Federer, and then but Serena, like she has like incredible power, like control.
Yep.
So like. They're both so different, and both so talented in their gameplay.
Yep.
And I think now Serena's the one that's kind of dominating.
Can I be honest?
What?
I don't care anymore because they're going to focus on, like they say here. But it says the talent possessed by both Venus and Serena Williams is undeniable, but the bigotry they face as children unfortunately never went away. I don't care.
I mean, it's probably true though. Like
no, it absolutely is. I don't care. I am sick of I'm sick of these stories. I'm not saying that they shouldn't make it. I'm saying that I do not care about these types of real. Nobody wants to watch movies about this stuff anymore.
Tired.
This one would be interesting because like I don't think a lot of people know about like I think being a professional tennis player is super hard. Like you have to be like bred from a child.
This is not bigotry. This is just being held to account in the spotlight. Okay, they are millionaires who worked very hard to get on the national stage. Is there bigotry involved? Yes, but I would say a majority of it is people being critical of them. You cannot call all forms of critique bigotry.
No, right? No, I'm sure, but like I'm sure what they're talking about in bigotry, because they were talking about like to be a professional tennis player, typically you gotta be in one of these tennis academies from a young age, and like this guy like trained his daughters, dude, like on the side.
Then the focus is on the
juggernauts.
Then the focus should be on the positive aspects of that story, not on how because everything's adversity. I kid you not, I watched a video today where a guy's like it's like, this is a sign for you and your bros to blow up basketballs and then explode them. Like
you need that juxtaposition though to make the story interesting.
But I don't have any faith that it will not be heavy-handed and over the top and overdone and take away from the story.
I hope not.
Okay. So my point is that this video is like, it's like a bunch of guys, they blow up a bunch of basketballs and then like, so that they blow up and explode. And a bunch of people are like, clearly only rich people could do this because of how expensive basketballs are, which cost like, so it's like you can have like $1,000 phone in your pocket, but the idea that only rich people can own a basketball because it costs $25 to buy a basketball. Everyone's looking for their, I was held down, I was held back story. And it was part of their story, absolutely. But it can't be the focus entirely.
I think after golf, tennis is the most elitist sport of all. So like,
not derby.
I don't know anything about derby, so perhaps, but like from what I've been exposed to, definitely like tennis. So I think it would be like a fascinating story, like truly.
I mean, even if they focused on her and her sister facing bigotry, the point of the story should be showing how this made her a stronger person, a stronger athlete, more dedicated.
I agree, yeah.
But
a legend.
Then you're facing the reality that, at least from how it seems, she actually is a very emotionally fragile person with a big, fragile ego today. And although she's talented, and they're both talented, how is that a story that people want to see? How is that a conclusion?
Dude, because they're like the top, they're like the best female athletes. They're like the Michael Jordan of tennis. Like truly,
I'm sure they are fantastic. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as people, how is that story?
But it's not fantastic. It's the best. Like one and two.
Then you focus on that aspect. Then you focus on that aspect.
Maybe they will. You know, like I agree with you. I'm sure they'll woke-fire it, but. Man, if done properly, it really would deserve it. Well, I think. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be. I guess my issue is that 15 years ago, I would have had a lot of faith that something like this could be done beautifully well. In current year, I have no faith that something like this can be done without being heavy-handed, over the top, and cartoonish in its depiction of the characters that tried to hold them back.
Which is a shame because they're legends.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.